Hello, Hamza. How are you?
Hello, I'm pretty good. How about you, teacher?
I'm doing great, thanks. Yes, everything here is very nice. I just had lunch.
Long time no speak.
A week, I think.
Yeah, approximately, yeah. But it has been 1 week.
Right, 1 week. So how's everything going with work? Have you been at the
Uh,
hospital?
Everything is doing great. I went to the gym today and I worked so lot, and that's why I feel so tired. Yesterday I worked at the hospital. I slept only 4 hours, and then I went to the gym.
Yeah,
Now my engine is burning and my body is burning.
right. Yeah, if you only had 4 hours sleep, you're probably exhausted.
Yeah, exactly. Um, when I uh, was when I was going to the while when I was going to the school, and I had to go to school and hospital at the same time,
Right.
and I was only sleep for between 3 and the most 5 hours a day.
Wow. For how long? You mean like for weeks and weeks?
It it has 6 months
For six
uh,
months.
for 6 months. Yes,
Wow. And but now you don't have any school. It's just your work and the
and
gym.
that's yes, it's only that. And when I think about the past, now it's so easy.
Right. Yeah. How many hours of school did you have when you were doing both work and school?
I did have 28 hours a week
Okay.
and over 40 hours a week. I did have gone to school. I messed up totally grammar.
Well, if
I
you
did have
yeah, I or I went. I could say how many hours of let's see, how many hours of school did you have? And you could say I had, let's see, how many? Was it 3 hours of school?
uh, a, for a day, yeah, 6 hours a day, right?
Okay, I went to school 6 hours a day. Let's see, to I went to school
And
six hours a day.
I cannot any certain time about my working hours, because my working hours usually depends on the situation and other
Right.
my colleagues. That's why I can say approximately I usually work over 40 hours a week.
Okay, over 40. So it's a
Over 40
full-time job.
full-time job, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Sometimes I work 16 hours, sometimes I work 8 hours. It depends.
hmm And so what about during the virus? Is it more than normal or less than normal?
Less than normal,
Less than normal.
but because there are less people come to hospital because of the virus,
Yeah.
but there's still a risk exists. That's why we have to be uh, we need to have precaution
Right.
to uh, to um, protect no to protect from the virus, and to inhibit exposing to virus. How could you say in second sentence to
The second
inhibit?
inhibit. Well, we can use the word prevent. We can try our
Prevent.
best to prevent getting the
Mhm.
virus. Let's see. At work. Or we take precautions. At work, we
Precaution,
take
yeah.
precautions to avoid getting the virus.
To avoid getting the virus. Yes, I actually knew it all of them, but I didn't
Okay, so this is
make good sentence.
okay. Yeah.
We have a lesson today, by the way, on
Yes.
Ingo.
Engo. Okay, did you pick one? Perfect. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let's take a look at this Engo lesson. I'll share the page. Newspapers.
Do you like reading newspaper?
Yeah, I usually read the newspapers online, not the paper version. Which one do you read?
Mm,
Do you read the paper, like the physical piece of paper you can hold?
No.
No.
Sometimes I usually mix them when I open the internet,
Yeah.
and I try to follow different newspaper.
Right. Yeah, because everything, the articles in the newspaper online are even a lot more up to date, right? It's the newest news.
Yeah, it's so useful than normal.
And you don't have to get your fingers dirty, right? Turning the pages and holding it. Yeah, no ink
Exactly,
comes
yes.
off. So there's some benefits. Okay, vocabulary. Range.
Actually, I a set of somewhat related things. Could you tell me how can I understand of range?
Well, related things. I like the example in the sentence here. When you go to the store, there's a wide range of shirts. Like maybe when I bought my blue shirt, there was small, medium, large. Well, there was actually like around the neck, 15, 15 and a half, 16, 16 and a half, 17.
Yes.
So that's a wide range of sizes. But
Set by
there's,
set.
yeah, it's like categories. A range is like a variety of sizes, variety of colors. So a wide range means that there's a selection. Or maybe a selection. If you're buying something, it might be a selection. It could be with foods. When you go to the grocery store, there's not just one box of cereal. They have a range of cereals. Some with, I don't know, some might be for children, some for adults, some with fruit, some without dried fruits or nuts. Yeah. So a range, they're related things, but there's a big selection. Let's see. There's more sentences. A wide range. There's a wide range of ethnic backgrounds in my company. And in the picture, right here, we can see one guy looks like he's from Asia. Another one that might be from Africa. So different ethnic backgrounds.
Variety, and there are variety in different groups in this photo.
Right. Yeah, so a synonym could be variety. Variety of shirts, variety of ethnic backgrounds.
Rich of something, right?
Right. Right. A variety of choices or foods. Even in this sentence, a range of new investment opportunities. Some people like to invest
Right.
their money in maybe a company, but
Now
there's
it
more
might be
than one
both.
company.
Once
Yeah.
price is increasing.
Yeah.
Like
There's
this.
okay.
Have you heard of it?
Oh,
In the time.
yeah.
How about on price?
Prices. Right.
Yes, on
Yeah,
prices.
there's lots of prices of different things. So yeah, that's a variety of prices or range of prices. So sometimes when you go to buy something like a house, right now my wife and I are shopping for a house, and they tell us, what is your price range?
Yes.
So they want to know what's the most you can pay, like so in your price range.
Okay. I
So
see now.
okay.
Thank you
So you're
for
welcome.
it was so um, it was so well
Oh,
examples. Good
thanks.
examples.
Yeah, I tried to give you um, a thorough list of ways to use range.
Yeah.
So you know that word thorough?
Yeah, throw out.
Thorough.
Right.
Yeah. Now let's see. Spell thorough. Okay. There's the
TH.
word. Yeah.
Through.
She was going to spell it for me, but I had it. Okay. Obituary.
Obituary, a news article that reports a recent death. Yeah, for example, there's a death case, right?
Yes.
And yes, go on, please.
Oh, in the newspaper, there's a section where they have, they call it the obituaries because there's more than one, usually more than one death. And that's a category in the newspaper.
Is that correct pronunciation? Obituary?
Obituary.
Obituary.
Yeah, obituary.
I can say writing about death, right? Writing about death.
Right.
For example, there was a case when there is a case in somewhere, and someone write about the death case in the newspaper.
Yes. So if it's
In a newspaper.
right, usually the obituary is about the person, their life, and just a little summary of maybe when they were born, what they did for work, and if they had a family, just a little information about them.
I assume that totally different than obituary meaning. I
Oh,
understand now. Yes.
yeah, sometimes if there's a car accident, that's not an obituary. You know, someone died, but an obituary is a summary of someone's life, almost like a mini biography on when they die, a mini biography.
For example, someone was born in whenever, and he bought in somewhere,
Yeah.
and it continue like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, it has the date he was born and the date, maybe his family, how many sons and daughters are surviving after his death.
I really
Okay.
enjoy.
Then
I really like doing exercise with you because at the beginning of the lesson, I felt so I was feeling so tired.
yeah.
Although I'm so tired right now, but I want to continue the lessons because of you. Thanks to you.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, I thought Is it partly because of your exercise? You know, sometimes when you exercise, you get a little more energy.
Exactly, yes. I
Okay,
I
good.
need to get some meat, I think.
Yeah, I know when I work out, I feel a little sore, but it's like
Mhm.
a good feeling. Like when I move my muscles, they're a little bit sore, but I know that it's for they're growing or they're getting stronger. So,
Actually, I haven't I haven't done any exercise up to here, up to now, and that's why it's it's so hard to exercise for me
yeah. Yeah, if you haven't done it for a while, there's a phrase,
for a while.
I'm out of shape. Have
I'm
you
out
heard
of.
of that?
Hey,
Out
yes,
of shape?
I have heard of it. I'm out of.
I'm
Yes,
out
I
of
think
shape.
if a tutor of mine told me I'm out of shape.
And then some people say, I want to get in shape. So once you start regularly, then you
Am
start
I
getting in shape.
am I out of the shape?
Well, um, you know, if you haven't been to the gym in maybe a month, you might
Uh-huh.
start getting out of shape. And then it's
Yeah,
a little bit hard at first, you know, it anyway, but when you're in shape, it's easier. It's your
yeah.
routine. Okay. So crosswords. Do you know what a crossword?
Crossword is a puzzle, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a puzzle
And in the puzzle there are some words
going
like
across,
yes,
and then there's some that are down, across and down.
cross and down. Yes.
Yes, that's a crossword. Circulate or
We usually use
circulation.
we usually this word in Turkish in medicine, right?
Hmm.
For example, your circulation, well, for example, your blood circulation,
Right.
and it's like same thing
Yeah,
in
it's
means
like the
about
same. There's different ways to use the word, but in this example, it's talking about a large,
related each other, right?
yeah. So the numbers, but it's related with like
Hmm.
you're talking about the so it's the number of copies of a newspaper or magazine available for sale.
Hmm.
Nowadays, most newspapers don't have a large circulation anymore.
Yeah. There is not enough circulation, maybe.
Yes, there's not enough to compared to before. Yes, it's diminished or gotten lower. But
Yeah.
it's similar, you know, like when you work out, more blood
Uh-huh.
gets in your more blood gets circulated through your body, right? More
Yeah,
oxygen
exactly.
gets to your body parts.
Through your
Good.
body or
Yeah, through your body,
huh?
right?
Okay.
Because the blood takes the oxygen to each part. Okay.
Mhm.
Revenue.
Revenue is income. For
Yeah,
example,
income.
my revenue is um okay. My revenue is $100 per a day per a week. I'm sorry, per a month.
Okay, right. So that would be revenue. Whatever you
Mhm.
receive and you bring home is your revenue.
What is your
Um,
revenue?
my revenue.
Yes,
You know,
that's
I
a good
have two
question.
jobs. Um, and it kind of varies, but let's see. At Cambly, at
Hmm.
Cambly, they pay $10 per hour,
Hmm.
10 US dollars. So usually I work maybe 4 hours a day for, well, 4 hours a day every day on average. I work 6 days a week,
Hmm.
but one day I work
Wow,
more hours, and then if it averages, it's probably like $250 a week
that's a good
is
income. Yeah,
typical.
I think
Yeah,
I hope
and the
it
hours are
will be more.
flexible. Well, you know, it can be more
It can be
if
more.
I work
Yes.
more. Yeah, because I'm only doing it part-time. It's not,
It
if I
might be
did
harmful for
40
you.
hours, then it would be, well, I guess then it would be $400 if I worked 40 hours a week, because it's easy to multiply 10 by 40 is 400. And
Exactly.
yeah, so let's see. We finished the vocabulary, so now we can start the article.
Let's start the challenge.
Okay. Yes. Would you like to do the reading? Or do you want me? Sometimes I don't know if one student wanted to read one paragraph, then I read the next paragraph, or however you like.
Actually, I prefer reading myself,
Sure.
and then
That's good too.
if I make a mistake, I want you to correct my mistakes.
Sure. Do you want me to let you know right in the sentence or at the end of the paragraph?
At the end of first one. How could
Right away.
right away? Yes.
Okay, I'll let you
Would you
know
write it here?
right away. Okay. So there. I was just typing that word, that sentence. And then so you get, I'll let you know right away.
I'll let you know right away.
Okay.
Okay. Let me start.
Sure.
Okay. Newspapers developed in the 17th century. The first newspapers started out as little more than information sheets for businessmen. However, by the early 19th century, many cities in Europe had newspapers that were published on a regular basis.
Basis. Good.
Okay. A regular basis.
Exactly. Regular basis.
Regular basis. That's right.
Yeah. And you know, if you kind of sound out each syllable, it might be easier.
Mhm.
Regular.
Regular.
Good.
Regular.
Perfect. Yes.
Thank you. Could you say that again one more
Yeah.
time?
Regular basis.
Regular basis.
Yes. That sounded great.
Okay. That were published on a regular basis.
Yes.
Modern newspapers modern newspapers contain a range of content, okay, I reminded, including news articles, opinion columns, weather forecasts, obituaries.
Yeah. Obituaries. Good.
Obituaries. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Obituaries, birth notice, crosswords, comic strips, and advice columns or columns. Columns.
Yeah.
Columns. Most newspapers pay their expenses through a combination of subscription revenue, newsstand sales, and advertising revenue. Computer technology nowadays plays quite an important role in the production of news and newspapers. Most newspapers now have online editions for added convenience. Here,
Yeah. So
here
this word
are
is additions.
additions,
Yeah.
right?
Additions.
Okay. Additions.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Here are some case facts about newspapers. Japan's Yomiuri, whatever,
Yeah, Yomiuri Shimbun.
Shunban, Asahi Shunban, and Manichi Shunban have the largest number of newspapers in circulation in the world. The first newspaper to contain a crossword was the British Sunday Express on November 2nd, 1924. The Time of India is currently the most circulated English language newspaper in the world. It is estimated that approximately 24 billion newspapers are published every year.
Okay, great.
That
Wow.
was a good article, actually. I like that.
Yeah, I learned something right here. Isn't that amazing? The most circulated English newspaper in the world is in
In
India.
India, is in India.
Yeah, it's not
Actually, I was a little surprised.
right. I was, and someone from India on Cambly told me that India has the most English speakers out of any country, or it has the most English speakers. But it's
I don't
interesting
understand.
because it's not their first language, it's their second language. But since India has 1.3 billion people, if just one-third
Interesting.
of them speak English, maybe 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 4, then that might be more than any other country.
Such a large amount, actually, right?
Yeah. Both Canada and India have 1.3 billion or over 1.3 billion people.
Actually, I don't understand Indian speech, right? Their
Yeah,
English speech. They are speaking English a little weird for me.
I know. For me too. Out of all the accents I've heard, it's the most difficult to understand. Because sometimes, well, it's difficult, but sometimes they speak fast, or many times they speak fast. So those two things make it difficult, the accent and the speed.
Do they speak
Um,
English on Cambly?
well, I've only met 2 or 3. I think I've met 3 people on Cambly, not tutors, but students. I've met 3 students on Cambly. Yeah. Most of the people are from Turkey and India. No, Turkey and Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia, yeah, I
Yeah.
heard of the same thing.
Yeah, those
And
2 places are the most popular for Cambly.
do you like Turkish people or on Cambly?
Yeah, they're all very friendly. Actually, everybody on Cambly is very friendly.
Yeah,
But
they tend to learn English. Because they are here
exactly.
because they tend to learn English. That's why they are here.
Yeah,
Yeah, they are eager to learn English, right? They're eager to
right.
learn English.
Yeah, so that's why they're friendly and they want to talk as much as possible. So, yeah, that makes it enjoyable too. Because I was telling my wife, if I go to the street or go to the store and I say, "Hi, my name is Jeremy. Well, what's your name and how old are you? What do you do for work?" People don't want to talk like they do on Cambly.
Exactly true.
So,
Yeah,
but on Cambly, everybody answers all my questions.
you can
So,
ask everything, whatever you want,
yeah,
whatever
how
you
many
ask.
children they have, or first, if they're married, then if they're married, do you have children? So I think of all these questions, and everybody is happy to answer my questions. But it's not like if you just meet a stranger on the street or in the supermarket.
They
It's
might be say they are not
yeah,
none of your business.
you're right. Yeah,
I usually heard the people
after
saying
3 minutes or 5 minutes, they would say it's none of your business, right? This is too personal.
Cambly is a good way because if a friend of mine told me if I were you, I would go to England or another country to learn English. I told him I thought same thing, but you are not right because I can ask whatever I want to Cambridge tutors, and they are so patient. They are so helpful, and I'm so relaxed. And I have no time. I have no enough time to go to another country to learn English. And Cambridge is the best method to learn English for me.
Yeah,
Really,
I'm
really, yeah, truly.
I'm glad you feel that way. And I think part of the reason, we're so relaxed, like you're relaxed, I'm
Mhm.
relaxed, we're both in our homes. Like if we were at a school or someplace, well, we wouldn't be as comfortable as we are in our own homes.
Yeah, it
So,
might not be funny, the lesson, right? Students
yeah,
usually ask, it's 3 minutes has left, 10 minutes has left. Thank
yeah,
God the lesson has finished.
right. Yeah. And we know right after our class, well, we can do what we want. We can go to our refrigerator if we're hungry. It's close. Or if we want to talk to our family, they're just right outside the room. So,
Yeah,
or
it's a good
friends,
advantage.
yeah. So I think that makes it enjoyable. We know that, well, we're comfortable. We're in our most comfortable place. Um,
Yeah, 100%.
so do you remember which are the largest circulated newspapers in the world?
Okay,
It, yeah,
we talked about it.
yeah, we
I
talked
think
about it.
we talked about it. Um, no, I think okay. Hey, yes. But I don't want to pronounce the name of them. Japanese
Right. We could just call
newspaper,
them some Japanese newspapers.
some Japanese newspaper.
Yeah.
It's only them.
Yeah. So they must that's interesting. I didn't know that either, but there must be Japanese speakers around the world. Or I don't know if they circulated around the world, but it's not
I
a
have
big country.
I haven't heard about it. I
No,
don't. Have you heard about it before?
no, I haven't heard any of those Japanese newspapers, but I guess in Japan they must be very popular.
I have a Korean friend, and if I told him, I would ask to him. I will ask him. Have you heard of
Yeah,
it?
right. Yeah, maybe they get translated. Some newspapers or magazines, they get
Mhm.
translated, so then they have um, a higher circulation rate because they can go to other countries and
Mhm.
read them there. Um, okay, so the next question. Which newspaper is currently the most circulated English language newspaper in the world?
In India,
Yes.
and
Yeah, we talked about that. Let's see. Does it
and
say the name? The Times of India.
the Times of India.
Yeah. In the United States, they have a famous newspaper called the New York Times.
It's like,
And
yeah,
so some places they like that word times. The Times of India.
Turkish Turkish people wrote
Approximately how many newspapers are? Oh yeah.
um, 24 billion newspaper are published every year. Wow,
Okay, 24 billion.
such a great um,
Yeah.
how could you say such a great. I want to use this word. Such a great newspaper amount. No. How can I say? I want to make a sentence
Yeah.
because when I surprise something, how can I say? For example, I surprised this information, right? And I want to make a sentence with such a great amount, maybe
Yeah, you could say,
published.
okay, I'm typing it. Wow, that's such a huge amount of newspapers.
Wow, the
Let's
quality
see.
of the sentence is
Yeah.
so good.
So in the chat
Wow,
box, I put that. You could say, wow, that's such a
wow,
huge amount of newspapers.
wow. That's such a huge. I'm sorry. Wow, that's such a huge amount of newspapers.
Yeah, right. And so huge is just a synonym for a lot. So you could
Yeah.
say that's a lot of newspapers.
Such a great army. I learned this kind of words from some movies. Such a great army, and I learned some harmful words, bad words.
Harm. Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, that I'm afraid of this saying some things
Oh, yeah.
like bad words. But actually, I watched The Last Kingdom and Vikings, all of seasons,
Hmm.
and I want to watch these movies 3 times again.
Really? About the Vikings?
Yeah, have you ever watched it?
I haven't watched the shows about the Vikings, and they're on Netflix, did you say?
Yes, they
Oh,
are on Netflix.
maybe I should see that. I'm going to write it
King
down.
Ragnar.
So,
Have you heard about
Vikings.
King Ragnar?
No, I haven't heard of it.
Probably you heard of it. King Alfred,
Okay, I've heard of King Alfred
the king of the king of Wessex,
Essex.
the
Okay,
last
I've heard of
king.
Essex. Yes. Oh, I'll have to look into that because
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of
Uh,
good shows on Netflix.
I'll start reading this book
Mm-hmm.
in Turkish, of course.
Mm-hmm.
The books mention about British, the history of British lands.
Of British dance? British lands.
Lands,
Lands. Okay.
land, yes.
Yeah, it's
This is so
amazing.
interesting British story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like every year, or I hear in the news when they're doing a construction project or building a
Mm.
road, they come across some ruins, like in England or places in Europe.
It's a
Or,
developed country,
yeah, or
and yes,
sometimes they come across, like in Germany, they might come across maybe a bomb from World War II. Have you have you heard of that? Like if they're remodeling something, and
mm-hmm.
yeah, so it's amazing. There's history all around in the European area, especially.
Exactly.
So many civilizations have lived there. Um, let's see. Do you want to do the
uh,
summary or go to more questions?
Actually, uh, I don't like summary, but
Okay.
if something's so hard to do it, and when you heard something, right? When something sounds like so easy, and you avoid something, right? You avoid it. You avoid it. A friend of mine told me
Right,
yesterday, if something sounds like so easy, you avoid it, right? You avoid that, and it
right.
sounds like something so hard for me, and I keep it. I hold on. Summary. I keep it, and that's why I
Oh,
want to
okay.
summarize the article.
Yeah, so it says make sure you include details such as what the article is about. Let's see, I'll highlight it. Where
Yeah.
and when the events took place, and how, also how and why they happened. Well, this is a small article, so let's see. If you want any help, just let me know.
Okay.
Because
Um, okay. The article highlights that how to technology how to affect newspapers in this area, and uh, and also newspapers history, right?
yeah, this is the history, like 17th
Mm-hmm.
century, 19th century, or early 19th
Oh,
century. So it's changed. There's
it
been
has changed. At the beginning of the newspapers published, no, I could say when the first newspapers while first newspapers were publishing, right?
yeah,
Uh, they uh, had uh, they had only for businessmen.
yes, right. Yeah, that's how it all started. Information sheets for businessmen. But
And also,
yeah.
mhm. Please go on.
Well, at this time they were starting to use printing presses, to make
Yeah.
copies of things like newspapers. So that's probably why it started to become so popular, or it increased in popularity because of the printing press.
Mhm. And it spread of all around all people, right?
Yes.
All populations.
Hmm.
Okay. And uh, the article also mentioned, secondly, the article mentioned that um, mentioned about newspapers, right? Like newspaper content, right?
Yes.
And and for example, like opinion columns, weather forecasts, obituaries, birth notice, crosswords, something like that.
Good. Yeah. So there's something for everybody, not just something for a businessman. At the beginning, it
Exactly.
was just for a businessman. Now with comic strips, they even have
Mhm.
something for maybe children,
Maybe
or
children,
yeah,
some adults,
right. So
some adults like children,
some
behaving
adults
children.
like to read the stories, and teenagers, all ages.
Mhm.
Okay, good. And then
Okay.
it talks about computer
Uh,
technology.
mhm. Actually, the article mentioned. I have to know how to summary an article. I know. I think I will learn how to I summary the article.
Right. With a
Uh,
summary, it's like you can't mention everything, so you have to leave something out in a
yes,
summary. But you just try
unnecessary
and,
informations and extra informations.
yeah, there's a lot of extra information. Like the part about how they pay their expenses is something that you could add or you could leave out, depending on how big of a summary you want to give. But it's interesting, I thought, how newspapers, they they earn money by advertising and subscriptions, or
Exactly.
yeah, subscription revenue, newsstand sales, and advertising.
Advertising revenue.
Because we always see the advertising. Maybe it has
Advertising.
cars or different things.
on
Magazines,
internet.
the same thing. Okay.
And the last one, not last one, computer technology nowadays plays. I can say instead of this sentence, a different sentence I can say.
Yeah.
Technology is the backbone of the. It's technology. It's become a backbone of the new techniques for newspapers.
Yes.
It
I
was
was
become
thinking,
maybe.
yeah, it can also be the backbone for distributing newspapers
Mhm.
because, yeah, they need to have the newspaper on the internet in order for people to read it and
Mhm.
and benefit. So the online editions, it says, are
To
an added
distribute them, yeah.
convenience.
As you said, you are right. And to introduce, distribute fast them, right?
R-
As
Yes,
people.
yes. The online distribution is much faster than newspaper delivery, home
Newspaper
delivery,
delivery.
right? And it saves a lot of time and expense. It must be a lot more expensive to pay someone to bring it to your door. Or,
And there is no paper waste.
yeah, no way. So it's saving a lot of trees. The article didn't even mention that, but imagine all the trees being saved because of the online editions.
The article should have mentioned about saving trees.
Yeah, exactly. If, you know, it could be calculated. Like in India, wait, 20, it is estimated 24 billion newspapers are published every year. Well, if those were,
A lot.
yeah, now,
Such a huge amount of newspaper to
yeah,
to publish them.
right. That must be a lot of trees. I don't know if these are all paper editions, though.
Probably not be published, not be only published, maybe.
Yes. Yeah, it must be a combination of paper and probably more online than paper. Okay, so we have some more questions here. Have
Okay.
you ever read newspapers?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, we want to know what's happening today in the news, right?
Exactly. And I want to learn what's happening today in the news,
Yes,
in the
good.
world.
Right, in the world. That's the nice thing. We can find out what's happening locally, like in our city or country, or the world.
What prices are increasing. The last
Hmm.
one. In
Yeah.
the last.
What is your favorite part of the newspaper?
Um, I haven't thought. I haven't thought about it, but I can say, um, yeah, actually about word, right? Because um, general culture, or I can say general culture,
Yeah,
general
general general topics?
general topics. Because when I read them, can I learn more information about word, maybe some food, cook, and doing something, exercise. I learn different information from them, right?
Hmm.
From
Yes.
this part.
Okay, so I'm thinking of one of our, let's see, circulation revenue. Ah, so you can say, I enjoy reading a wide range of topics. Instead of general
Exactly.
topics, I enjoy reading a wide range. And that's one of our keywords.
3 times usually.
Okay, in the news. So I enjoy, I forgot to put reading. Here, I'm going to put it again. So the second one has, I enjoy reading a wide range of topics in the news. I enjoy reading about. Okay, we can make it slowly better and better. I enjoy reading about a wide range of topics in the news.
Okay.
Okay, that sounds much better. So
I enjoy reading about a wide range of topics in the news.
right. Just like in our example sentence, it says a wide range of shirts. You could say a wide range of news topics or topics
Right.
in the news.
Topics in the news. Okay. Thank you
Okay. How
for the
about,
second one.
Number 3. We finished number 2, your favorite part of the newspaper. Why do you often read the news online?
Okay. Because read news online is so easy than how could say this newspaper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Reading news online is so easy than reading newspaper,
Yeah.
because whenever I want, I can read news online, but I cannot reach or I cannot reach newspaper because maybe I am in outside. For example, it's so and newspaper is so big, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why um, I I often read newspaper, and I can um, I can surf all of them, all different varieties, and
Mm-hmm.
I cannot addict to. That's why I cannot addict to a newspaper, right? Whenever I want, I can surf all of them, in all of them,
Yeah. Right. You can surf at all the newspapers. You don't
all
have
the
to just read
newspapers.
one. Yeah. So that's what makes it so interesting. Because some of the news articles, you can see the date it was written. So if it was written a week ago, and now there's a new article about maybe the virus, well, you probably want to read the one for today, not last week. The more
Exactly.
you want the most up to date. And also, sometimes when you go to the news,
Actual.
it might say breaking news. Have you ever heard breaking news?
I
Breaking
heard
news means something that's happening right now.
yes, breaking news.
Yeah. So,
Actual, maybe.
right. And then they usually with breaking news, they have a video. They'll show you a video because something is happening and it's
Ah,
sometimes
okay.
it can be usually it's always bad news. It might be a plane crash or somebody is robbing a bank and they have hostages in the bank. So that's
So,
breaking news. It's
yeah,
happening right now.
and I remember I remember from some American movies breaking news, and I rarely watch some American news, right?
Hmm.
And when I see them, I see breaking news, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
what happened in US right now? What's happening in US right now?
Yeah.
And I need the breaking news.
Yeah, exactly. When you see the breaking news, it might be a hurricane, like a natural disaster
Hurricane, yeah.
or things like that. Okay. Um, do you think that in the future everyone will read the news on the internet?
Uh, I think not, because some people some people like reading newspaper than read online, right? Because reading
Right.
online, because they it depends on the people ideas, because some people don't want to stay on online,
Hmm.
and they want to, maybe they might want to, for example, touch the newspaper. It's like me, because I prefer reading online, but when I read a book, I don't prefer reading online, because reading on book is so enjoyable. It's so enjoyable than uh, re, uh, how could say, ebook, right?
Yeah, an ebook. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, everybody has their preference, right? Some
Exactly.
people prefer to hold the paper and turn the pages, and others, well, if
Yeah, I like
if
it.
you're outdoors, I think reading a book is a lot more, it's easier to read a book outdoors with the sunlight or in the shade. It you don't have to worry about the battery life of your device. So you can just take your time, no rush. If you're using your phone, you might be thinking, "Oh no, 20% battery."
But it
So,
might be a good solution to take a power bank.
yeah, right, a power bank. Yeah, you can plug in to the power bank if you're outdoors. But I was thinking just the sunlight. In the sunlight, it's sometimes hard to see the screen. But with a
Exactly.
book outdoors, it's more readable. So there's
Yeah.
pros, they call that pros and cons. Pros of paper and cons of paper.
Could you
Uh,
write this down?
yeah,
Pros.
I'll put it, let's see, there are pros and cons to reading the news
You have a book. You are seeing,
papers.
for example, let's say, um, let's think about it. Now we are in close. We are in close to a sea, right? Near to sea, near a sea, near
Yeah,
near the sea, right?
near the sea, yeah.
And we have a book, and we are against the beach, and it's
Hmm.
so delicious,
Yeah.
especially in Istanbul. I
Hmm.
prefer I prefer doing. Is that correct? After, how can I say? I need to. Do I need to use ing after prefer?
I prefer, you could say I prefer reading a book on the
Huh,
beach.
exactly.
And
On the
I was thinking if you're going to the beach, it's much better to have a book because it's not as expensive. You can leave your book on the beach, you can go swim, you can come back, and you don't have to worry about your device getting too hot, getting sand in it, someone
Mhm.
stealing it. Most people don't steal books.
It's
But
so easy.
yeah, if it was a cell phone on the beach, that might get stolen. Or too hot, too sandy, it might get wet. But with a book, it's okay. You don't have to worry.
But device is so distraction. Device has so uh,
Yes,
distraction things. That's why I don't prefer
right.
reading on device. That's why,
Yeah.
because when I open my phone, and I
There's notifications, right? New email, new
need
new text message.
WhatsApp,
I know what you mean. Yeah. So we have about 30 seconds left. The time went
uh,
by quick, but we finished all the questions. That's the good thing.
it
Yeah,
was
down here.
so enjoyable lessons, and I'm so appreciated to you.
Oh,
And I'll be here on next lesson.
Okay,
Uh,
great. And I like the lessons you pick out. You've brought some good
yeah.
topics to class.
I'm so lucky because of you, and
Oh,
thank you
thanks.
for everything.
Oh, you're welcome. I'll see you soon in the next lesson.
Take care, your please.
Bye bye, Hamza.
See you. Bye bye.